What's up, millennial men? How you doing? You got Corey Neese, Coach Corey. This is a really fucking important message today. I want you guys to know that success without soul is not success. So it's not even success in the first part, because without your soul, without your integrity, your morals as a human being, it does not matter how much money you do make. It does not matter how much influence you have, because it's not worth it, and it's not, I don't want to get into philosophy, but it's not the path, right? It's not the path of us. We're the good guys, right? It's not the path of the Millennial Men movement, and that's why we have the Millennial Men movement. That's what this shit is about, man. I'm pumped. This is so fucking important, because this is really saving people's lives. Guys, if you watch this as a replay viewer, I'm not just talking about your dad, your mom, your family, your religion, your church, your pastor saying, look, you got to be good because we say so, and that kind of talk. Like, you've probably heard you gotta be good, you gotta be a good person, right? It's true, but in the world of self-development, in the business world, in the financial world, it becomes different, because it's not, I don't know how to say this without, like, it's a lot easier. Let's just say this: when you're a kid, when you're told to be good, you can be good when you're like $10, right? Or when you're like 10 years old. So when you're 10, when you're 15, when you're not in the world of the world yet, it's a lot easier just to be good, right? But when you get into this world, and there's so many different options, there's so many different ways to make money, to do business, to create success, to create influence, you have to really, 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 really be clear about the way that in which you do it. You have to be on that straight and narrow path. Otherwise, you could easily find yourself losing your soul, doing things that will make money but are bad. Promoting lifestyles, promoting bullying, promoting toxic, aggressive nature. You can do those kind of things, but you're not making the world a better place. You're creating more fucked up individuals like yourself, if that's you. And there's a lot of these motherfuckers on Twitter right now, and it pisses me the fuck off, because these are not good dudes, right? When I get mad like this, it's for a good cause. When these guys get mad, it's because they just want to fuck someone up. It's because they want to be positioned and influence in a way where it's toxic. That's not what I'm coming from. I'm coming from a warrior stance, where I'm fighting to protect you. I'm fighting to teach you to get on the right path. You don't want to be down that path if you have a choice. Now, it's confusing. There's people that are messed up in the head, right? There's people that you can't control maybe necessarily how you are, because some people are born evil, some people are predisposed psychopaths, right? But most people are not. You and me, most likely we have a choice. And I can tell you, as someone that went the wrong route for a long time, being very, very narcissistic, and even probably being borderline, maybe sociopathic in the past, where I really lost a lot of sense of my soul and what was right for me, I can tell you, that is not the path. I've significantly left that path, and I'm on the right path. And I've been on it for a long, long time, and I've always been a good person at heart. My soul's always been a good soul. It's just sometimes in life, when you're lacking something, you tend to make up for it in a way that gets you a feeling that comes from a bad place. You know what I'm talking about. You can get a high from kind of not giving a fuck about people. You can do things that maybe aren't in the best interest of others, but it makes you money. That's not a good thing to do. You can look at pornography. You can be with a bunch of strippers and whores and people like that, and you can get a high. You can do drugs. You can shoot up. You can get drunk. You can smoke whatever, cocaine. You can do that shit and replace that void. You can fill your void, which is really lacking love, but that's not what you want long term. And I can tell you, it just ticks me off. There's so many dudes that are really probably malignant, narcissist, sociopaths, and even worse, all over Twitter that are actually smart, and some of what they say is good, others are just completely evil, and you really want to avoid these fuckers, right? I'm cussing and stuff. You really want to avoid these people because they're not going to lead you to a life that you're going to be happy with at the end of your life. That is, if you're a good person. If you don't give a shit about people, fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you. But if you have a soul, which we all do, we all are a soul, your soul is always being pulled towards what is right or what's wrong. And you have a choice to decide what you choose, all right? And I'm seeing guys promoting a lifestyle of selfishness, malignant narcissism, and things like this. The dark triad, power and greed and lust and things like this, and psychopathy. It's not a lifestyle that you want to take on in any part, any degree. Not at all. You don't want to go that route. And I just feel pulled to make this video because I think some people need to hear it. And Tyreek, yeah, man, maybe this message is for you if you're on here still, or YouTube, or wherever you find this. I mean, like I said, I was on the wrong path. I used to be not caring. I used to do things that were more unethical at an old job I used to do. I used to not feel because I didn't feel loved. I didn't really understand myself. I lost touch with God, with my source. I was really trying to find out what are my beliefs about the universe, about God, about life's purpose. And I got lost for a while, but I got myself back on track. Now, like I said, as a recovering narcissist, I'm telling you, that's not the route you want to go. You want to find a person or a cause or yourself that is coming from a good place, not an evil place of, yeah, what the fuck, I can do this and make a bunch of money. I can sell books on, the dark triad. I can promote, a selfish lifestyle. I can, I've seen a lot of these guys that they're not good guys to follow. I'm not going to say some names, but there's a lot of these guys on Twitter that are going nowhere good. They are promoting a way of lifestyle, philosophy, a way of thinking that leads nowhere good. It's a shallow way to live. It's not actually powerful. It's coming from a place of lack. It's coming from a place of ignorance. It's coming from a place of weakness. Who's more powerful? The person that has nothing to lose, which is in some ways a little powerful, or the person that has everything to fight for? That's the difference. When you watch movies that have this kind of dilemma, who's more powerful? The Mel Gibson in Braveheart, who's fighting for his love, for vengeance, for a good cause, for uniting an army, a nation under a good cause to fight back against the evil, the poverty that's been inflicted on them? Who's more powerful, them or the motherfuckers that don't have nothing to live for but their own selfish selves? It's the person that's always got something to live for. It's the person that's got love. It's the person that's got their soul on fire, but not from the fires of hell, the fire of heaven, of what you're meant to do. Not what you can just get away with, not what just feels good in the moment, not what's from a place of immediate pleasure, right? Because you can feel things in your brain from doing things, by hurting people, by hurting animals, by doing drugs. You can do things to get a feeling, to fill a void that is meant to be filled with called love and self-awareness. Or you can do the opposite and find a partner, a woman, a partner, a cause, right? A business that is coming from a place of good. When you get to the end of your life and you're laying there on your deathbed, you're sitting there on your rocking chair, are you going to think about, oh shit, look at all these millions. Look at this, 5 million. Look at all these numbers. Look at this. Oh my God, I'm such a king. Right? You might think like that if you're a fucking selfish, greedy bastard with no soul. Right? And then you're going to be a poltergeist stuck here on this planet. That could be your route. But really, most people that are good, most of us are all good. We all are of the same, we're all cut of the same sheet. Most of us are going to think about the people. We're going to think about our relationships. We are going to think about our work that we did. Those three things. We're going to think about relationships. We're going to think about the work we left. We're going to think about the people we love the most. You know, we're not really going to be thinking about ourselves. That is like the most unselfish, egoless moment, is when you get to that point. And I hope we all live long, happy, fulfilling lives. But at the end of your life, that's what it's going to come down to. So you need to work your life with the end in mind backwards. You need to think about how you want to be remembered, not from a higher self perspective. You want to think about your legacy that way. Like, man, did I really... Like, I love what Brendan Burchard says. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? That's what's going to go through your mind at the end of your life. And this shit is just so damn important because it is all the difference in the world. There's a path. You can go this way or that way. And they have completely different destinations. And one is great and one is bad. And it's confusing because to the mind, to the body, to the flesh, there's ways that the bad way is actually making you feel good. Like short-lived, putting others down, making you feel like you're above them. Porn, sex, lust, greed, overeating, overdrinking, drugs. You can be obsessed and live completely in that 3D kind of way of life. And it's confusing because, to our body in ways that some of that stuff feels good. But to our soul, and this is why we don't do that most of the time, it feels horrible. We feel horrible, when you sleep with a prostitute. You feel horrible when you spend hours doing nothing good with your time looking at pornography. You feel horrible when you put someone down, when you steal from them or cheat them, right? Or do something bad. You feel horrible because that's your conscience. That's your soul. That's your soul speaking to you in an unheard voice saying, that might feel good to your body for 5 seconds, but that's going to make you feel bad for the rest of your life. If you have a soul that is moving towards good. Yeah, this is the truth, man. I'm feeling it because God's speaking through me. I'm channeling a lot of this stuff because it's a message God wants to be heard. And like I said, I'm not a perfect person. I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm being brutally honest. I used to be a bad dude, right? In some ways. Not always completely. Like, I've never been completely off my rockers to be like some of these fuckers out there who are psychopaths. But I really lost a lot of my feeling. I lost my way for a short while. And on that journey, I found myself. And I got to the point where I understand God, myself better than ever. What life's about. What's most important in life. And I want you to know that too, because like I said, you can go either way. You can always decide. Left is bad and right is good, let's just say, because usually up and right is progress and growth, and left is backwards and backwards in the wrong way. Excuse me. Evil, live spelled backwards is evil. Evil is simply living life backwards. It's living the wrong way. If you have contemplation of, that's where I was at, you can choose any way you want to live. I'm telling you, you can choose any way of life philosophy you want to live. You can be a great person, you can be a moderate, you can be an evil person. And you might be thinking to yourself, I don't really know if there's a God. I don't really know if there's a greater purpose. I don't really know what happens after life. And granted, we all have different views on it, but I think we all, like I said, are cut from the same sheet. And in the end, we all really go to the same place, depending on our soul development and our free will, how we used it on this planet. So, I'm telling you, I hope this helps you get clarity to make the right decision on how to live your life. Because the right way to live is being a good person. That's the right way to live. Is to live from a place of love. Is to try to make the world genuinely a much better place than it was before you were here, when you're gone. That's the right way to live. If you're contemplating which route should I go, that's the route to go. And sometimes the good route, being the good person, doing the right thing, is not going to always feel good to the flesh, to the mind, but to the spirit it will. That's why it says in the Bible, man does not live on bread alone. We need the Word, right? We need spiritual development. We need the invisible. Our spirit is invisible. We need to develop that. We need that to lead our life. Our body is a temporary tool, instrument. It's form, it's flesh. It's impermanent. You came into the world like your body did, and it's going to be gone in 100 years. It's just a blink of an eye in the time of the universe, but your spirit or your soul is forever. That's what matters. That is permanent. And that's the place you need to live from. And that sometimes is really hard to live from because being of the world, most people aren't living fully that way. A lot of people are living completely backwards. They're living evil. Spelled live backwards. They're living the wrong way. And you have a choice. You have a choice to live from love, your spirit, or to live predominantly from ego, separation, and your body, meaning the pleasurely things of the world. Meaning the ways that, yeah, you could do things to get you money and highs and all that shit. I don't need to go into that again. Or go the righteous path. Do the right thing. And sometimes that doesn't mean you make money right away. Sometimes that means you struggle. In fact, I can almost 100,000% guarantee you will. You will fucking struggle doing the right thing. Because that's why it's called the right thing. It's hard to do. It's not easy to do the right thing. That's why you're preached it so much. It's because it's so much easier to do the wrong thing. To do the thing that gets you immediate pleasure. To do the thing that everyone else is doing. That's why it's easier to overlook the people being bullied. That's why you're always taught from your parents to do the right thing. If you had some decent parents, which I did, most people do. But that's what you got to do. You got to live your life the right way. You can't get stuck in the wrong way. And that's what the world's coming to. Is more than ever, social media and things, the internet, there's so many ways out there being taught. There's so much information more than ever.